Hello everyone and welcome back to Donkey Kong Country. My name's Cody.
And I'm Fu.
And we're here stuck in this world of pain and misery known as ice physics, which is apparently part of some contract, some demonic contract that every Mario-like game developer has to agree to, where they provide a water level, an ice level with ice physics, some kind of lava level, and a bunch of other stock options, for level design.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I mean, DKC, because it was a planned series, 3 games over 3 years. They did have the option of spreading that out a little bit, right? Like the
You tricked me, Ostrich. There was no way for the Ostrich to get over that gap. That was a trick, Ostrich.
It was a trick, Ostrich.
Whatever, Ostrich. I'm never gonna ride on you again.
Fair choice. But yeah, I mean, DKC 1 we get the ice level, DKC 2 we get the lava level. DKC 3 we get another ice level. Let's be honest, it's kind of BS.
Yeah.
But they did their best to minimize these kinds of effects. But you're right, they're kind of necessary. We have to see them.
Yeah.
They just help mix things up. But yeah, this level, another level like Slip Slide Ride that I would call...
let go too early.
that I would call obvious. Like,
yeah.
It's the opposite of Snow Barrel Blast, in that you start in the heavy snow, and then you slowly work your way out of that into a nice sunny day. Much like Snow Barrel Blast, there's a pretty clear design challenge, and it's not as inspired as the one we saw previously, but it makes sense. We have a platformer. Your goal is to jump over holes and to kill enemies by jumping on them. Now you're going to do that in a frigid environment where you're going to slide everywhere, right? Like, it makes sense that they included a level like this. I get it. It's not totally unfun to play, but at the same time, there's not a lot to...
I hope you noticed the way that I stared that ostrich in the eyes and I said, no. I said, no one's going to ride you. I'm not going to get tricked again. I won't be fooled again.
His little ostrich heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should try not tricking people next time. Tricky little ostrich. It's probably actually an emu. Can't trust an emu.
Yeah.
I'm an Australian, so I know. Yeah.
Right. I have to take your word on this, yeah.
Alright, so you also noticed that I have 10 lives. Thanks to some good old-fashioned cheating. Which is to say, not entering a code or anything, but just part of the way that the game is designed. I can go back to Snow Barrel Blasts, like 10 seconds into Snow Barrel Blast, there's a 1-up mushroom. I'm calling it 1-up balloon. And I wasn't pressing the controller then, if you're wondering. I just slid off the edge.
Yeah.
And then if you press start to pause it and then press select, it will kick you back out into the menu, but with the extra life that you got, and then you can repeat that as much as you like.
Right.
So I figured, look, I don't want to have to, for the sake of this recording, every time something goes wrong, replay through 4 levels before starting the recording again, because that's just kind of a pain and a waste of time. So that's what we're going to go with, is a bit of padding on the lives front.
Yeah, so this was a known strategy on all games of the era that featured an overworld.
Yeah.
They pretty much 201 had this mechanic where once you had beaten a level, and only once you had beaten a level, you could exit the level from the pause screen when you were replaying it.
Yeah.
There were a lot of good reasons to have this mechanic going on, but it did allow for some abuse, and the kind of thing you're talking about, where you can rack up a bunch of lives, assuming you find a level with a life at the very beginning, is one of them. Another one, if you really got used to it in Super Mario World, like I just built this reflex as a young kid, whereas the moment before I was about to die, my fingers would just instantly reach for start select and save me the life. So you can build that sort of bad habit too.
Right.
Rare would have certainly known about that kind of thing. I mean, it had been well established by this point. And obviously that gets in the way of their idea of setting up these long stretches without save points and making them interesting.
Yeah.
But they would have probably just been willing to accept that. And especially for our purposes here, which are more showing off the game, I don't feel too bad about doing it.
Yeah. So this is Croctopus Chase.
This is the worst level in the game, yay!
Yay, I love water levels with bloopers that jump out at random directions at you. That's my favorite. And by my favorite, I mean I hate it.
So we've already seen a couple things in this level that are just absolutely terrible. First of all, this level has a single trick. It's you being chased by these Croctopuses. You're faster than the Croctopuses, so if you know the route to the level, you can kind of run through it without ever actually having to worry about the fact these things are chasing you. And it's not like they ever give you a reason to slow down. Like,
right.
If you were just playing this level without the Croctopuses, you would pretty much enter the same commands.
Yeah.
So they don't add anything.
Right.
All they do is punish you for taking your time and exploring and doing all the things that DKC is really supposed to be about. So it's kind of backwards to the philosophy of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not very much fun. It's the minecart principle all over again. You're just memorizing a pattern and executing it. And, getting randomly punished by these little squids that float into your path, and by not knowing that you're supposed to be outside of that little patch of rock, not in it.
Uh-huh.
Like, it looks like a safe area that you might want to check out. Like in other video games, it's what it would be, but here it's actually a trap, and you just have to know that. Like, just not much good going on here.
Plus, it's a water level.
Plus, it's a water level. Plus, it does things like we've seen where it uses the automatically firing barrels to kind of control your movement and force you to go in the way that it wants to go, which is not something the game ever does elsewhere, and it's kind of annoying, and it takes away from the idea that you're supposed to explore. And then, like we see just there, it flouts the conventions established elsewhere in the game. Back in Slip Slide Ride, right outside of the halfway point barrel, they used bananas to point you in the direction you were supposed to be going, and that works just fine.
Yes.
Here, instead, they used that red sign, which absolutely everywhere else in the entire series indicates that you're coming up on the end of the level. And here they used it in the middle of the level. So they're just ignoring their own conventions, ignoring their own design philosophy, not doing anything that's particularly fun or interesting. Like, it's just such a bad design.
Yeah, and plus, and this is the worst part, when it said Croctopus Chase, the word Croctopus starts with a C and not a K.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just ignoring everything important about Donkey Kong Country. Like it's the founding principles, which are there's a bunch of enemies that have words starting with K in them. So I feel like, someone tricked me again. Someone dropped the ball on this one.
Someone really did drop a ball on this one. I think probably what happened was that they knew they were building this stretch of a series of difficult levels in a row.
Yeah. And
they just wanted to throw another one in there, and damn it, shouldn't it be the water level? And so we got this mess, probably included fairly late in the design.
Yeah.
But yeah, breaking the K tradition, I didn't even think about that, but that's bad too. There's only 2 cutscenes in this entire game, and one of them relies entirely on the K convention to make its, to be its punchline. So the fact that they're not working towards that here is just grinds my gears a little bit.
Yeah. And look, these walls, which apparently sharks and everything can just sort of go through, but you're not allowed to. Like, I feel like walls should affect everybody. Like, I feel like that's one of the rules of, like, physics. you know, that just shouldn't be broken, is that, look, if you got a wall, it should be a wall for everyone. It shouldn't just not be a wall for squids.
Right.
That doesn't seem fair. Alright, so I'm coming up on the part where I keep dying. So I need to remember what it is that I keep messing up. What I do is I keep... No? Because I was thinking that... Because last time I went into a little hiding alcove at the top and got hit. And so I was thinking, oh, don't go to the top this time, but I was too early.
Yeah, this is the one you're worried about here.
It's this one coming up that I need to... Yeah.
There you go.
Ooh, that was close.
There you go, but you figured it out, right? And that's the thing. As soon as you've got the number, as soon as you know what they're trying to force you into here, and then obviously that was...
I saw the little exit sign right there.
Yeah, you're there. The level doesn't have anything interesting to offer you at that point, right? Like, you figured it out, you've got the trick down, now it's just boring, now it's just going through the motions. Now it's just skipping Donkey and making it that much more difficult for yourself.
Then, look, I'm making lots of mistakes now. Because I saw the exit. So I'm like, hope. There's hope.
Yeah.
But it is a false hope. So there's no hope.
You know, like
there's no hope for
setting,
this being a fun level.
Extra challenges for yourself when the game is not providing. That's kind of a classic of Nintendo fandom, right? Whether it's you know,
like 3 heart challenges in Zelda,
challenges. Yeah, exactly. You know, so you're just honoring those fine traditions.
Right. I'm just making it tougher for myself, just for entertainment sake. You know how I'm an entertainer, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what they call me. Dangerous Cody is what they call me.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
So you can really see here again just how you're just faster than these things.
Yeah.
Which, you know, why would they do that? Like, if you can come up with a reasonable suggestion for why you would build a challenge that only exists as a challenge when you're going to be surprised by it. I mean, I guess that idea has been explored. If you look at a game like I Wanna Be the Guy, and the genre of I guess they call it Massacre, where these kind of challenges are expected, where they're throwing things at you and expecting you to fail the first time and learn from your mistake and then come back.
Right.
But that was... They had to jump through some serious... There you go. Psychological hoops to get a game like that to work, and this definitely doesn't put in the same amount of effort to earn your, you know, your devotion to the idea of playing a level over and over and over again to learn its tricks.
Yeah, and it's I think a lot of the fun of that kind of thing is just in like streaming or whatever, in watching other people get angry. Like, it's one of those games that was designed for the YouTube era, or the Twitch era. And I think a lot like Dark Souls, actually. Like, there's a lot of these games that are like, we're difficult. We're gonna make PewDiePie angry. You know, and people make a lot of games based on that. But I'm not sure how much of it is good design. I mean, I think you can have good design in a game like that, but I don't think a game like that is inherently any good.
You know, like setting out to have your players experience an emotion. That's a valiant choice to make, right? Even if the emotion is a negative one. But in all of that, your game still has to be fun, right? If you set out to make a game that's going to frustrate people, it better frustrate them in a fun way, you know, like in a way that they want to tell their friends about later.
Yeah, I just want to be sure, but I shouldn't touch the fire, right?
You should not touch the fire, no.
Okay. Because there's only one way to find out, and it's not a very fun way for Diddy Kong.
Right. Yeah, so here we've got Squawks the Parrot providing us with a lighting challenge. And we've also got a level that very much differentiates between Donkey and Diddy.
Uh-huh.
So there's two ways to play this level. You can play it more vertically and jump on things, but if you want to apply that strategy, you need to be Donkey, because only
Right.
Donkey can kill these kinds of enemies with jumping on them. You could just as easily try to play the level more horizontally, but in that case, you'd really want to be Diddy, since he's more maneuverable in these sorts of situations.
Right.
So that's just kind of an introduction to the character differences. You've been playing with both these characters for a while now, so you should understand these differences.
Yeah.
But the game's going to try to cash in on them more and more going forward.
Yeah.
Um,
Can't wait until we get Cranky Kong as a playable character. Oh,
Yeah.
that was a quick and easy level. I don't know if I just
yeah,
zoomed past that, but it seemed quick and easy
Uh,
to me.
yeah. I don't think that there was ever supposed to be much of a challenge in that level. That's just like the home stretch. You made it. You get to save. You just played 5 levels in a row. That's the toughest point, in the game.
28%.
Congratulations. Very nice.
And what have we got? Rope Bridge Rumble. I think we're at 16 minutes now, which is pretty decent for a video, and this next one might take a little while, so who knows. So I think we'll end off here for now, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.